Hey, fire team. All right, so I am joining you for our weekly coaching call. We have an awesome topic for today, and I actually interviewed Danny Vega, who is a bodybuilder. He was a strength and conditioning coach for various college and professional sports teams. So I just interviewed him last week on the Warrior Wellness podcast. It hasn't come out yet on this specific topic because he is one of the experts about muscle gain. So I've learned so much from him. I've seen him speak several times. Him and I have been kind of conference buddies, going to a lot of the fitness and low carb conferences. So definitely go to fireteamwhiskey.com and our Warrior Wellness podcast page and go ahead and subscribe to us, or check back. I'd love for you to subscribe to us. Hello. Hey, Jim, I see you popped on. Love for you to subscribe to us so you can catch those podcasts, because there's a lot of really useful information, and that's a part of what we do here at Fire Team Whiskey, is to continue to educate the public and continue to educate you about the things, the steps, whether it be huge steps or baby steps, that'll help you in the long term with your health and wellness journeys. So today I'm going to talk about that subject, but definitely catch that podcast when it comes out with that interview I did with Danny Vega, because he's definitely the expert on building muscle. But if you do have any questions or comments about this topic, hopefully I will see them. Check in here, leave me a comment so I can see you if you have any questions or experiences with this. So let's get right to it. So a lot of people aren't really aware that having a higher muscle mass on your body, so having a higher lean body muscle mass helps you not only burn fat. So if you're trying to burn fat, here's the big mistake people make, is you're trying to burn fat, so you cut a lot of calories. You do this, this is the thing that you're told to do. You're supposed to just really cut down on your calories, right? The problem is you're putting your body into starvation mode. And yes, you will lose some body fat, but very limited. You will lose muscle mass too. So you're going to burn both, which is why I'm not a fan of calorie deficits. A, it's not sustainable. You can do it maybe for a short term. You're going to be miserable. B, it's miserable. And C, you are losing both. So I never use that approach with clients, because it's just silly. And most people, now, unless you have some sort of eating addiction or binge eating disorder, actually are eating less calories than they should be. The problem is the types of calories that they're eating is in the wrong ratio, okay? So, or you're just eating pure just junk food, right? So the things that you're eating are not healthy. So if you're eating, here's the, if you're still a believer in the calorie deficit, here's the mic drop argument against that. If I eat 500 calories of cupcakes or 500 calories of grilled chicken breast, and I give it to two different people at the same exact weight, who do you think is going to end up a little healthier from that effort? Yeah. And the person eating the chicken breast is going to be a lot less miserable, because those cupcakes, the 500 calories of cupcakes, are going to make you feel starving because you just ate a shitload of sugar, and then you crash your blood sugar, and then your body's sending you the signals that you're starving. So when you have protein, it's a longer burn macro, so you're not going to feel as hungry when you're eating 500 calories of protein versus 500 calories of carbs. So I hate calorie reduction. I'm not a fan. I don't think it's sustainable. It makes people miserable. So there you go. Let it go. And you're going to need good calories. You're going to need to get out of the lose mode. Your body feels like it's starving, so it starts to shut down the metabolism. And that's the problem too when you do calorie deficits. You slow down your metabolism. You're not speeding it up. So if you continue to eat a good calorie range, but you shift up those macros to have your body feel like it's okay to burn, but also build, right? So you have to have the 2B balance, burn and build. We want to do both at the same time. We want to burn fat and we want to build muscle, right? So I'm going to tell you some of the health benefits. So if you're watching this and you have a higher body fat than you want, you're going to find some good tips in this coaching. So I'm going to do it really quickly. You can check out the podcast with Danny Vega when it comes out with more information on that. Plus, if you go to fireteamwhiskey.com, I think 3 or 4 blogs ago, I did a whole blog on this specific subject as well. So check that out. So I'm kind of going to be skimming that, giving a summary of those 2 things right here on this coaching call. But if you have any questions or comments, please post them so I can see. But in order to build muscle, you need to have a good calorie range. That's the bottom line. So if you don't remember anything else from this, you cannot do calorie deficits and build muscle. End of sentence. Your body will not build muscle. If your body feels like it's starving and you're in a calorie deficit, your body will not build. So you have to get those calories up in order to build muscle. Now, what should you be eating then? Okay, I'm going to increase my calories. I believe you, Stephanie. What should I be eating? The old adage for the bodybuilders is they would carb cram, to build, to put on weight. And then right before their bodybuilding competitions, they do something called a cut, where they severely restrict their carbs and they severely restrict actually even water, because they start to get dehydrated so they can look more toned. But and then they do a severe calorie deficit. So they build. They even put on fat on their bodies, but then they do this horrific cycle of burning. So they do lose muscle mass in that time, but they can cut down to look lean to enter their bodybuilding competition. So if you learn about all of those things that they do in bodybuilding, it's horrific and they're miserable. So Danny Vega talked about in the podcast how he got away from that. He did the old school bodybuilding, but as he transitioned, it became keto and then became carnivore. He did it in a totally different way. And he said, God, it was just such a relief when I got to my cutting period. I wasn't suffering. I actually was already in fantastic shape. I tweaked some things before my competitions, of course, to look leaner, but basically I didn't make that many changes. So he did it. He found out that there was a way to be very, very lean, very, very cut, low body fat, high muscle mass, and you'll see the pictures. Danny Vega is also a picture of it, is also on our As Featured page. So he's wearing the Semper Keto shirt. He's a big dude, man. He looks like a linebacker. So you can be low carb. He's actually 0 carb. He's a carnivore now. He does cycles of keto and carnivore like I do. So he's a definite good example specimen of how you don't even need to carb load to build a good muscle base. But why do we want a lot of muscle? So I know a lot of people get concerned, especially women, about putting on a lot of muscle mass. It's like, well, when I see guys with big muscles, they look fat too. I don't want to put on a lot of weight. I don't want to be big. I don't want to be beefy. I don't want to be chunky or, those guys they look kind of inflamed. They look puffy, even though they have big muscles, they have higher body fats too. And people assume that that's what I'm going to look like if I really start lifting hard, right? And yes, that could happen because you're not working on shredding down that body fat at the same time. But why do you want more muscle mass? Even as you get older, it's even more important. So I'm going to give you just a few tips on, or a few little facts on why you want higher muscle mass, and you really do need to focus on this even as you get older. So it increases bone density, which is an essential thing. You don't want to, like old people, when they fall down, they break hips. If they had higher muscle mass, they wouldn't have these issues. They would have healthy bone density where they could take falls and spills and not smash their bones, right? So we want to have strong muscles and strong bones. So you need strong muscles to make the bone strong. Muscle increases mitochondria. So mitochondria are the powerhouses, that the energy cells in our body, in all the cells in our body, right? So we want more of those. Why? Because we want more energy, right? We don't want less energy. So the more mitochondria you have, the more energy you have. So that's fantastic. So you have more mitochondria in your cells. And that's good for your metabolism as well, because your body has more mitochondria to burn energy. So you are actually burning more energy. You have the ability, you have the cells in order to do that. Muscle increases insulin sensitivity. So I can't go into detail about what that is. I talk about insulin sensitivity all the time when we talk about blood sugar and losing weight and burning fat. But basically what you need to know is muscle burns fat. So it helps out with the transition process of taking that blood sugar that you consume, right? Taking that and turning it into energy. So when you have more muscle in your body, your muscles kind of gobble up that glucose. So it saves it from being stored as fat. So the more muscle you have, the more blood glucose your body can store, not as fat. So it is stored in the muscle. That's good. You want more muscles so it can store that energy instead of it going, well, I have nowhere to put it. Now I need to put it in make it a fat cell. So that's the reason why you want more muscle. So you can reduce the amount of fat being built up. It improves cancer survival rate. So if you, God forbid, get some sort of chronic health disease like cancer, people with higher muscle mass have higher survival rates. That's bottom line basically for any chronic disease, but especially cancer. Protecting against injury, so people with higher muscle mass get injured less often. It helps with the prevention of obesity. So it actually, because of the energy burn. And then let's see, that's it. And people with more muscle mass actually live longer. So that was the bottom line one. So we definitely want to live longer, right? So you want more muscle mass. All right, so how to build muscle. I already covered number one. You have to eat enough calories. I can't say that enough. And this is something that I struggle with people who are trying to lose weight. That's great. So they think they have to cut their calories. That is not what we need to be doing, because it's going to also shred that muscle mass off your body as well. So you need to eat enough calories. You need to resistance train. Yes, you have to pick up weights and put them down and pick them up and put them down and repeat. And you have to continue doing that. So, and you need to vary. What used to drive me nuts when I used to go into regular gyms is like the same guys, the same routines. They go in, they do their 10 bicep curls, then they do their 10 chest presses, and then they do their 10 military presses, and then they do the same 3 things, and then they chat with their buddies, and then they leave. And it's like, you are not going to build anything because you do the same things, the same repetition, the same weight every single time. You've got to vary your workouts. You have to keep the body guessing. Your muscle fibers will only grow if you have enough, macros, enough calories, enough energy to make those muscles. But you also need to do different things, challenge your muscles, and create those little micro tears, which is what resistance training does, to have your cells repair themselves and get bigger. Let's see. It's my other one. MTOR. So this is a big subject. A lot of controversy in the low carb world is MTOR. But basically, it's a balance between protein synthesis and breakdown. So you have a kind of an on and off switch for processing proteins, processing amino acids that you consume. Doing things like extreme workouts, high intensity intervals, cold showers, shiver walks, sauna, those kinds of things that kind of activate those fight or flight symptoms in your body. They also make mTOR active. So the more you spend in that mode, the more you are able to kind of break down those amino acids that you're consuming and get the benefits, more benefits from it. So you don't always have to be an mTOR. You know, that's the controversy is, you know, how much is too much, right? Because you don't want an overly stressed body because that causes inflammation. So you need a good balance between the two. So if you're somebody who has a very boring job, you sit behind a desk, you're not really getting into fight or flight mode very much, then I would highly encourage you to do some of those other things, you know, infrared sauna, shiver walks, cold showers, high intensity interval workouts. Those are going to activate that. Now, if you already have a stressful job, you know, if you're a firefighter, you're a police officer, or you're a paramedic or EMT, then maybe you don't need to do so many of those things because you are actually activating mTOR with your natural kind of day-to-day activities in your job. So there is too much. So you do need to spend some time in that, but not too much, because then you're activating some other issues that are going to cause problems, especially inflammation in your body. So we don't want that. And then amino acid intake. I can tell you with 100% certainty that every single client that I've ever worked with is not eating enough protein, period. If you're watching right now, you probably aren't eating enough protein. Jim, you might not be eating enough protein. So I have a really good calculator that I use with my clients to help them figure out what that is. It is based on your lean body muscle mass. So we have to get a good measurement of, you know, get a tape test or some sort of body fat measurement to see what your lean muscle mass is. And then basically based on that, how much minimum you need to get, you know, to keep you in that window where your body's okay with building. But then if you're looking to build, you need even more. So I have another kind of calculation to do that. So usually it's like 0.8 per lean pound of pounds of lean body muscle mass. But if you're looking to build, it can be like maybe 1.2 and maybe even more. I think Danny Vega, who I interviewed, does like 1.5. So he eats an inordinate amount of protein to continue to build those huge muscles that he has. So look forward for you guys of listening to that. You have to get those amino acids. That is found in protein. Best source, animal protein. All right, good whole foods. I'm not talking about going through Kentucky Fried Chickens. You need to get good whole food animal protein. You know, the more the better. And if you are a vegetarian, it's very difficult. If you're vegan, it's almost impossible. So hopefully you don't fall in those categories. You definitely need a coach who's an expert to help you with that, to get enough amino acids. But if you're not, and you eat animal protein, then yes, that is where you're the biggest bang for your buck. That's where you're gonna get your protein. You need to get enough every single day consistently so your body can use those amino acids to build that muscle mass on your body. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. That blog that I referred you to, I go more into about how you don't need to carb load to build muscle, because that's usually what bodybuilders do. They carb load, they protein load, they get bigger, but they also put on fat, and then they do the cutting phase where they do calorie deficits, but they cut their carbohydrates. Every bodybuilder at the cut phase cuts their carbohydrates, so they know what burns fat, right? But they do a lot of building, so and they're miserable. So we don't want to be miserable. There's a smarter way to do it, but there's lots of research out there. And in that blog that I referred you to, you don't need a lot of carbs in order to feel good, but also burn and be at the key is being at your ideal calorie level and your ideal protein level, period. So keep that in mind. Those are my tips. And yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about during this. I did 20 minutes, so that's about it. I could keep talking about this for like hours. So any questions, any comments, please leave them below in this video. Hopefully that was helpful, but definitely go refer to the blog that I wrote about this specific topic. It's very long, so there's no way I would cover it in this coaching call. Go to fireteamwhiskey.com go to the blog. I think it's called, Do You Need Carbs for Muscle Gain? So that's like 3 or 4 blogs back. And check out the podcast that'll come out here in a couple weeks. Definitely follow us on the Warrior Wellness Podcast if you listen to podcasts, or just go to our website, fireteamwhiskey.com, go to our podcast page, and in a couple weeks we'll come out with that podcast. Danny Vega, who is a carnivore bodybuilder, so he talks about how he builds muscle, how he works with his clients to build muscle and not needing to carb load. So there is a way to do it, and there are plenty of examples out there of low carb bodybuilders who are doing it, and athletes. So you don't need to carb load to do that. But bottom line is, get enough calories and get enough protein. All right, guys. Hope you had a great Monday, Motivation Monday, and I'm looking forward to starting Guns and Hoses here next week. Can't wait to get you guys started, and we'll talk to you soon.